Hey guys, welcome to the Urban Palette Company. I wanted to take a minute and say thanks for purchasing these kits and happiest birthday. Um, this today is going to be, we're going to be doing a wood sign Pokemon ball. So once you open your kits, you should have all of the things that you see here. You'll see this little blue um, plastic thing. This is your apron. You're going to go ahead and put that on. And then you're going to be covering your workspace. So if you have some cardboard, this is just an old table, so it doesn't really matter. But you're going to put down some cardboard, or if you open up the cellophane, you can put that down underneath of your board. It doesn't really get very messy, but just in case. And then you're going to have a board. There's going to be a white painted edging, and it looks like a black Pokeball here with a tan stencil. And then on the back of your board, you'll have this little hanger already attached. That's your hardware. That's a self-leveling hook. And yep, and then a board that looks kind of like this. In addition, you'll have this plate. You should have 2 paper plates. And then you should have 4 of these sponges, these like little square makeup sponges, 2 kind of small ones, or maybe 1 small one and 3 bigger ones, a safety pin, some white paint, some red paint, and some black paint. This has a little flower on it and it says sealer. So we're going to go ahead and grab one of the paper plates, put it to the side, and then we're going to take some of the sealer, put it on the plate, take some of the red paint, put that on the paper plate, and take some of the white paint, put that on the plate. So I'm going to go ahead and do that while you put your apron on as well. And then coming back over here. So basically what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be applying this tan thing right here is a stencil. So this is going to be coming off, and then we are going to be painting in the black areas. I know it sounds crazy, but we're going to be painting in the black areas, trying not to really touch the stencil too much, and then leaving the white part alone. Sometimes people like to write their name on it afterwards, or 2020, but it's totally up to you. So you're going to want to make sure that you position the board so that the hardware is at the top. You don't want that to be at the bottom, and you're going to turn it around. And then I have a little kind of sample board here. And then grab your paints, and you're going to kind of put them on the paper plate like that. And then the one that says sealer, you're gonna open that up and put that on the plate. Grabbing a dabber between your thumb and your pointer finger, you're going to go ahead and apply this sealer where the stencil meets this dark wood, if that makes sense. And the reason we're using this is so that that basically there's little tiny gaps in between this stencil here, and we just, you want to rub them down with your finger as good as you can, but for those that we can't really see, we're going to put the black in so that the black is what bleeds paint and not the red or the white. So we're going to go ahead and very, very lightly, just a little tiny bit. You can kind of see in there, I don't have a ton of black, and there's a reason for that, because you really don't need a lot. And you're just going to basically be putting it where the tan stencil meets the black part of the sign. Yep. All right. And then don't forget to do the inside if you need a little bit more. And if you see wet globs, you can go ahead and take those off, because, kind of rub them so that, there's no globs. But you can see how very, very light that is. Now, don't do the outside. You want to keep just the tan stencil with the white board, because we're going to be removing that. Okay, so the next step, I believe the top of the Pokeball is white, I think. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to try to fill in this area without actually touching this tan stencil. It's a little tricky. So we're going to go ahead and kind of in swooping kind of ways, we're going to go ahead and try to fill that all in. Now I'm going a little heavy on the paint for the inside of the Pokeball, but you can, you know, go a little heavier on the first coat, and then when you get to the close to the edge of the stencil, you're going to want to go a little bit lighter. But you can see where it looks globby, it looks yucky, and that's totally normal. Alright, so I'm going to put that down for a second and grab another new sponge, grab some of the red, and try to fill that in. And the red's definitely going to take a few coats, so go ahead and start, you know, putting that in there. Try not to touch the stencil. Try to get really close to the stencil, the side of that tan stencil, but whoops, try not to touch it. And if you do touch it, that's okay. Make it really close. Okay, and we're going to hold up on that. And I believe the middle of the Pokeball is going to be white. We're going to go ahead, try not to touch the middle of the stencil. But if you do, just a little bit, it's okay. Alright, so now we're going to go for our, I guess this would be like the second coat, and we're going to get even closer to the stencil. Very, very light coats now, because we're getting so close. You want just barely any. Kind of take some off in the middle, and then just very, very light. Filling that in. And the white dries pretty quickly, so you'll need a good amount, you know, of that on there. And it's okay for the second coat to touch the stencil, but just try your best not to get too much on the stencil. Alright, we're going to let that dry because you don't want to go any more because it'll just keep taking it off. And then go for some more coats of the red. Yeah, it definitely takes a lot more the red to get that deeper color. And as it dries, it'll definitely get darker. You can see the stencil's right there. It has a good amount of paint over it, so you can't see it as well as you could probably see yours at home. Alright, we're going to go a little more with the white. Kind of getting the edges. And I like the kind of rusticy look, but you know, it's up to you. If you don't like that and you want it to look very filled in, you know, go ahead and wait for it to totally dry and then go back over. All right, so the red is drying, and I'm going to just go ahead and try to do a little bit more over here, but I kind of like that rustic-y looking red. We can see a little bit of the black through, so. Whoops, and I did get a little bit of white on there, so I'm going to try to wipe that with my finger. And then I'll come back in with the white. There we go. All right. We're going to let that dry. And once that's dry, you're going to come in with your safety pin. Open it up very carefully with your parent right there. And the sharp side, you're going to go kind of in sideways. Okay, you're not going to want to dig into it because that'll ruin the wood, but you're going to start on the edge and kind of pick out the side of this tan stencil here. Okay, and once you get it up, you're going to go ahead with your fingers then and slowly pull off this tan stencil. And there you go. There is your Pokeball. Feel free to embellish any way you like. I think it's supposed to be the red on top. Whoops. Oh, geez. But you can, even when it's done, write your name in the corner or however you'd like. Happy birthday.